My friend,
My friend, how are you?
I am good. We holding it down here in Trinidad, man. Sun blazing, We're just keeping it right, keeping the energy up.
That's beautiful. How's the family?
Everybody's good, man. I mean, I get a lot of time with the little one, so enjoying daddy life. You know about that, my friend.
It's cool. It's super interesting because for what we do, and having a kid, so you're so used to running in and out, and then kind of spending that. Okay, I'm home for 2 or 3 days, and spending that concentrated time,
You
but
know it.
then not being around. So it's like a whole. I've realized that I don't know if you have that. Like it's a whole different ball game when you're home
Oh man,
24/7.
trust. But it's just more time. I mean, I'm just happy that I'm here, and she scrapes her arm, she bump her head, we're going to buy birds, like just the little things. And it's been great for that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's one of the best things about this entire thing for me,
It's
you know?
definitely helped me to keep my sanity and just you know
Correct.
get to kind of experience that, be out. I don't have as extensive an outdoor setup as you guys probably do because I'm in New York City, but to be able to get outside and um just like enjoy it and settle in.
Just enjoy, man, chill.
You're a pretty positive dude though, so I figure you're gonna look at the bright side regardless.
We're gonna find the bright side. Yeah.
What I know it's family also, but the bigger part of the family. How are your brothers and the rest of the band doing?
Everyone's good, man. I mean, we really and truly came together. This entire project that we're rolling out here, you know, it, it it just reminds me of just different points in our life when we had to just put our heads together and make something happen. And this has been going on since we were kids. Hey, we have to build this little stage, like how are we gonna do this, where are we gonna get the ply, where are we gonna get the nails, whose house we're gonna steal. Oh, not just joking. But and it's just a time when we're back together again as brothers and really trying to make things make sense together. And I think as a blessing in itself, that we hear
Yes.
that we hear.
I mean, one for you on the fact that the band is your family, so you get that extended family time. But also, like you mentioned, just to kind of you guys have reached such a level of success. I know obviously there's a lot more to go, but let's say come January and February, kind of like there's such this heavy cycle of things, and it's a regular cycle. It's tour, carnival, and then you guys just came off of carnival, so that always means hit the road hard. I know you guys were. We'll get into this later, but separate from the album that we're here to talk about. But like you guys were formulating a different project at the
That's right.
time, so it's like that cycle. So this kind of like strips everyone back to like a much more grassroots level, and like you said, figuring out what to do as this massively successful band in a time when you can't do the thing that you're massively successful at.
Well, the thing is that as I say, art is a reflection of life, and I have to say that no matter what, you have to be honest to the moment. That to me has guided us along the way, where we were. You can't force a narrative on stuff that's going on. You have plans. You may try to plan shit, but then man make plans and God laugh. At the end of
Yeah,
the day,
shit plans you.
yeah, shit plans you. But in order for shit not to plan you, you have to be you have to be ready for it. You're gonna have to be ready for what's to come. And I think of course, this is one of the biggest resets in human history since I knew myself, and it provides an opportunity again. You know, yeah, I'm looking at the positive side of this because of the fact that I got time to actually rest and not keep jumping on that train and for us to
Literally.
even yeah, literally, for us to actually have this piece of work, this body of work would not have happened if we did not stop a little bit. We needed to really be grounded to really put this together, and it was so necessary. I got to do all the things that I was putting on the back because I just didn't have the time or just didn't have the energy, and
Well, you
and
just have to
it
you have to prioritize and sort of like moving into a totally new creative kind of space is
exactly
not going to be at the
exactly
top of the list. Like there's
Eh, you know exactly, because you're already answered for. Like we're already booked to the end of the year, sort of thing, you know. So it's like, but then I'm not gonna lie, like from having this pause, I've realized that I felt like I was just the train was just going and going, and there was no stops because after Trinidad's carnival, it's Jamaica, it's this, it's that, it's that, straight back to Trinidad. You know what I mean? So the entire year is there's no really off time. There's no like the industry does not shut down for Thanksgiving in
Well,
like in my parts.
but it's interesting because years ago there used to be more, but because carnival culture and soca culture has grown so much that all of that that calendar has gotten even busier. So Jamaica's had carnival for some time, but it's only in the
Yeah.
last 4 or 5 years that it's become like a thing that not only would you get booked for shows there, but you're going to be doing music for Jamaica Carnival.
Well, I've been actually going Jamaica Carnival since 2002, 2003. So it's like Jamaica and Toronto was one of the first places we ever toured, like ever. So it was I'd seen Jamaica Carnival start from nothing to what it is now. So you know, it's just as you said too, it's changed. You know, Berlin ended up being a stop now. Places like South Africa was popping up. People as far as Australia wanted to kick up something. You know, Japan had a vibes. They wanted to really make a stamp in. So you see the culture spreading. Like I was blessed to see soca really take shape within the last 15 years into what it is today. But I think now this is a true test for the genre in a sense of people sing about all sorts of things, but you know, people were heavily basing it on the live experience, whether it be the road, whether it be the fete, whether it be, you know, all those things. So the question is really, what do we sing about now? You know, and that's the questions you ask yourself. What am I feeling right now? How do I apply this energy to the world we live in right now? And it's good for me to actually have those questions because I like to always stop and say, hey, wait. Why are we doing this? I never want to feel like I just roll in, you know, and I plateau in. I want to know that, hey, I waking up every morning for a reason to do to stretch myself to be better than or closer to the idea that I would like to see first. You know, so
Yeah.
you know, so this is a real time. I mean, it rough, but everybody going through it, and that's something that we sharing right now. That everybody experiencing this at the same time. It's
Well,
not like
that's the
it's not like reggae and dancehall playing in all the festivals and soca shut down. You know, it's everybody.
No, that's the really interesting thing. And it's like, from time to time as a band, you may get a personal reset. I'm sure you did around when you had a kid, or if someone's got a health issue and you just, and yeah, to take a 3 month pause or whatever. So like these individual things, this is so different. And it's so different to us individually because it's you sitting there in Trinidad. It's me sitting here in Brooklyn. It's our friends sitting in Jamaica, Toronto, Japan, everywhere, going through the exact same thing, and also like wondering and waiting for, so like for carnival people, well, how does carnival come back? For me as a DJ, well, how does DJing come back? For you as a performer, how does performing come back?
Yes.
So everyone's going through it together, and so like I'll jump back to the main point in a second. But one of the things that you and I had talked about, and I've talked to many people about it, that I've always been such a firm believer in with soca and soca artists, is that it's so experiential, and anyone who gets to experience it will fall in love with it. And I've definitely said to you over the years, like to me, that's the essence of like how do we capture that? And interestingly, this turns that totally upside down. And to go to the album that you guys made, which presents your music in such a unique way because it's not just a live Kes the Band show. It's like tell me about how you like the process of reinterpreting this music to make it what it is for this live album.
It was definitely something that we had to really think about because at first it was really based on doing a live broadcast around the world, and we was like, you know, yeah, well, we never captured ourselves live as a piece, so we said let's attempt that. But it's easier said than done. And when we actually got into it, it was just like, wow, hey, hold on. Each step of the way was something, you know. How do we reimagine a song that we've played for some time, and let it feel like live, but let it feel fresh at the same time. So it was each song, I think, and each choice was very specific. We couldn't do the entire catalog, but we did enough to represent the scope of Kestiban. So we also wanted to get a snapshot of soca in 2020 and as well Kestiban in 2020. And Kestiban is not just a soca calypso band. We're just a band, and we combine all genres together. So you would find a mix of interpretations, you know what I mean? And we just sort of treated every song as special as it is. And
I mean,
we did no shortcuts, you know. And we also interpreted some of our live arrangements from the stage that we do into these songs, but then a little bit more, you know.
right. Well, so that's the thing that's really interesting to me is one, I think it would be great to see like an encapsulation of Cast the Band live performance. But again, that's something for regular times. And now we're in these different times, and just how different way that you can interact with people and people can interact with the music, that listening to it. So it would seem like the natural inclination might have been, well, we're going to do an acoustic album because that's this stripped down, emotional. You guys are also well capable of doing that, have done much smaller things. Like, was that a first thought along
That
this
was the
process?
first thought. That was the first thought. The first thought was to do an acoustic album, and we were going to do it sometime in December. And I was working on my after Carnival album. So I released Carnival music, and then I was going to jump on summer and get some tracks down, and get an album going. And then when all of this happened, it didn't feel like it was the right time for this. It felt like something else needed to come. And there were points in time when we just didn't know what to do, and we didn't know where the world was going, if we were just going to fall off our axis and roll into the
Still
universe.
today, I'm at
Up
that
to
point
the
in
day,
time right now.
you know what? I let go of trying to know. I just want to do what feels good right now. Because at the end of the day, man, the most you could do is I could leave this planet. You know what I mean? And other than that, I'm here. So if I'm here, let me do what I have to do. And you know, so the reality is that yeah, it changed and everything changed. And then even when we decided to do this album, we were like, okay, well then what is it gonna sound like? Is it gonna be acoustic, or is it gonna be like more like instruments, drums, guitars, and then it's okay, yeah, let's do it with everybody. And then we're like, wow, like this is like something that we always wanted to do. Like, oh shit. And then we just rolled into it, and then all the pieces fit, you know. And I take that as indication when you're not swimming upstream, you know. Row your boat gently down the stream, you know, down the stream. Merrily, merrily, merrily,
Yeah,
merrily. Life is but a dream, you
yeah.
know? So you have to be happy with it. You roll downstream, you're not fighting up. We just put in the work that we know, and it came together. So I was real happy for at least that.
For real. But so
For
so
at
it,
least that.
but so to go to some of the behind the scenes things is, you know, it comes at an interesting time for you guys because this year was, unrelated to this, going to be a year of kind of experiment in a different way, but experimentation and new management and working on moving into new markets while maintaining, you know, the integrity of what you guys do, still maintaining the Caribbean presence. But just so I know, there was a lot of thought behind what 2020 would be for you guys prior to, to this happening. So again, to the go with the flow, merrily down the stream, this just
Merrily.
this is more like going off the waterfall, or you know, like over the cliff. But
Put
go,
your goggles
but
on.
go.
The thing is, actually, big up to Evan and Damon. This is probably the best first project for them to really test to see, well, what's up. You know, how can we get, if we can get through this, man, we can get through nearly everything. You know, so I'm always twisting it back to the positive, but the reality is that it has been so great for me. You know what I mean? I sometimes feel weird in saying it, but I've had a good time in lockdown. Like I've had a good time in a sense of I've appreciated everything about it now. Like, and it's difficult to say sometimes because people are having a horrible time, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, people are having a shitty time, and the reality is that for me, I could have chose to have a shitty time, but now, you know, there are things in motion, and the team is working really hard under the conditions. I actually think it's amazing to see what we've done um, online. Like my management is based outside of Trinidad, and we've just done everything over the phone and everything. Like we've just been in contact every day, and we've just been disciplined, a lot more disciplined. You have to be a lot more sure with your movements. To drop the ball now is a lot more detrimental than ever before. So everyone's sort of bringing their A game. You know, I don't know if you've been eating out. I find like all food is tasting better. I find like whoever's saying something now trying to say it. You know what I mean? And it's because people taking care in what they're doing now. They're not as caught up in the hustle of shit. You know, oh, I have to do this. Hey, blah, blah, blah. And you're not spending the energy into what you need to be doing.
No, and that feeling of like, oh, I gotta go out, I gotta link this person, I gotta go to this club, I have to do this,
Yeah,
I have to
and
get
you're
this.
everywhere while you're here. You know.
Yeah, so it gives not just you and me, but everybody a lot of time to reflect upon whatever they need to reflect upon. And like you said, you know, like it's a terrible time for a lot of people, but
Yeah.
you know, for someone like you and your brothers and the band, you know, doing what you do can be something that adds some light and energy to other people. So you know what I mean. So I to not feel bad in feeling so good about this time. You know, you're very lucky. I'm very lucky that we both have that our situations allow us to be happy to be able to enjoy spending more time with our kids and our family. Because a lot of people don't have that, but
No.
also I think you know you guys are able to provide that. And I think also, especially, I know this is going to reach beyond that, but especially for the Caribbean people and for Trini people, when they've seen peaks of the album and the live special, but what I think when people see and hear, you know, what you guys have, the album is Rehome, which is out on August 28th, and then the live concert special is August 31st. That
Independence. Yeah.
yeah,
All
Independence
independence.
Day.
Nice. Yeah.
Um, People are going to see and hear like such a unique representation of their country, their music, and the songs that they know and love.
I'm just really happy that this is happening. You know, I think if I feel like I had to make peace with the the last world, the old world, because the fact is we're stepping into a new world, and it's never gonna be the same as before. And I feel like all that we've experienced within that last frame of things, I feel like this album is sort of a dedication to that and a stepping into something new and fresh and new airs. You know, I've always said that no matter what, you know, you have you look at a band perform. Anyone from anywhere around the world, if you're into bands, you can relate to the drummer, you can relate to the guitarist, the bassist, and to me that was the element that was missing in soca music, like in its recordings. Like right now, of course, our recordings now are being called reggae, are being called dancehall, is being called
Afro.
Afrobeat, it's being called all sorts of things now. So it's like for us now to really identify ourselves, I think it's now more than ever that we have to put this across, this live feel, because I think when people actually, as you said, when you experience soca music live, or at least the foundation of it live, you get it, you understand it. But there's a lot of stigma attached to soca, you know. There's that carnival thing and there's that jump up thing for those who are not into it, and they just don't expose themselves into it. But the minute that they let their guard down, it's over. You know what I mean? So
But you've made a lot of songs that actually are break that wall down. Um, Tuesday on the
yes,
Rocks, Endless Summer,
yeah,
um, you know, one of my favorites, which usually isn't in the show. I don't know if you do it in the show. My Love, the TJ one.
My love, yeah. I don't, but I should.
Just a
Um,
personal, but it's just a personal
yeah,
thing.
I
So you
should. And
you
then,
you
and
you
yeah,
you've made a lot of that music in the, the previous world. So those that's out there, and then this really, I think, does what you're talking about, but also doesn't leave anyone behind. Like no
it
one
doesn't.
who is
No.
a fan of Kesta Band is gonna feel weird or feel like you're trying to fly out with this one.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, it's like over the years, like we, because we do, you know, a whole range of stuff. We would have two worlds. We used to almost serve two gods in a sense of have that foreign sound and stuff, and then have that, you know. But I think as time went by, we just became a sound, and songs taught me something. Like songs like What Less actually opened so many doors. Actually, What Less opened me to Jamaica in the studios in Jamaica. They liked What Less, and I got into the studios, and then I started to do a lot of the Choose on the Rocks and Last Summer out of What Less, you know. And I never thought that that song would have brought, you know, that sort of recognition. Songs like Savannah Grass always kind of confuses me because the reality is that there are people from around the world saying, who has no clue what carnival is or where the Savannah Grass is or what I singing about, and they feel to cry. And I'm like, yo, I was in so much tears like while I was making that song because Dad was moving on, and whatever energy went into that song went into that person who had no clue what this thing was about. So then it taught me that we have the energy, and it's really about not trying to fit in anywhere. It's just about vibrating to the fullest, but not having limits. So if I feel to make a soca, a calypso, if I feel to make a dancehall or reggae or pop or rock song, it's still Kes the band, it's still our sound, it's still our vibes. And I just don't limit myself now, and I don't really consider one over the other. I just think of it as if you don't know about it, you're gonna know about it. You know what I mean? Like, welcome to the party. Come to our party. We're not trying to knock on your door and sell your fucking cookies. Like, you
No,
know, you come and have a weed cookie by us, you know?
yeah, that's no, that's the really interesting thing, and it's
Yeah.
being done in that way. It's also interesting because you're coming off of a massive carnival year,
Yeah.
for you guys. You guys, uh, Monarch and Road March.
At the same time, I don't, you know?
So under normal circumstances, forget about your track record and all of the hits you guys have. That alone just means you are carnival nonstop for the rest of the year.
Yeah. I would have been sweating all now. I would have been like wiping my hair with a cloth because I played in some all inclusive today,
Yeah.
you know? I was probably heading to London and then New York. And, but you know what? Again, I've done it. I've done it for, even when I didn't win Road March or thing. We had songs that were the songs of the song of the carnival. It didn't win titles, but it carried us everywhere, you know. So we did that. Like I think from the first year, What Less, I remember we did 5 shows in 6 days in different parts of the world, like from St. Vincent to Houston to wherever else to thing. And yo, I did it, you know. So if it's one thing that we do as a Caribbean artist is a we tour because that's where it's at. But at the same time, yeah, this is a welcome change. Like I'm happy that we won in 2020. Bam, we shoot off the stage not good again. So
It,
if the stage not good again,
it's actually for just for you personally and the way you are. It's actually probably the best way it could have possibly happened because you're just like, that's all, folks.
what
Thank
we gonna
you.
do? What we
Now
gonna
I can
do?
go on to my next thing, and you're actually not forced to just run around um, and do that.
I mean, again, we would have found a way, but I'm appreciate the fact that I can actually take a deep breath in and be like, okay, this is who we are. This is what we feeling, you know?
Yeah, man. No, definitely. So,
Mm.
all right. So now I want to get into some technical things about this album. The album is out August 28th. It's We Home. The live concert special is August 31st on Trinidad and Tobago Independence
Mm-hmm.
Day.
Yeah.
The sound of this live album is at like I'm not an engineer. I'm not a master of these things. I'm a hobbyist when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But also another thing you guys really did is capture all of the dynamics, all of the energy, and the sound beautifully.
Man, I have to make special mention of that because we it's just again how things lined up because nobody had nothing to do. I had a we hooked up with this amazing uh mixing engineer by the name of Dexter Simmons, and Dexter Simmons is a quiet Trinidad hero. He's not someone who likes the spotlight at all. He had an amazing story. He used to work in a studio here in South Trinidad, and early on he realized that he wanted more, and he went to the States, and he was like a rookie in the studio and worked his way up and ended up being mixing the boys' mind for Brandy and Monica, and for that, and won a Grammy for that in the first place, and then kept on just going strength to strength. He did stuff for Michael, he did stuff for, I mean, everyone. And it's just my brother, being the guy that he is, Hans, who plays the drums, he kept in touch with Dexter. He would call Dexter and ask him advice on something, and we would always want to work, but we never had the right project for him. We never had the right thing because he mixes live acts. He does the gospel acts and stuff like that too. So this was a perfect fit, and he was like so excited and just proud that it was Trinbagonian and he believed in it as well. And I'm happy that you, as a DJ, hear the love that he put into it, because he put his all into making sure that we sounded really good and not lose the integrity now of who we are now.
But so beyond, like I said, beyond not losing it, it's exceptional in the capturing of the music on a level like you said, like this is someone. So I didn't even realize. So I did a little bit of my homework. So I read actually the press releases, and I saw that he had all of like the Michael Jackson and all this stuff that he had worked on.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize within that, and maybe I just glossed over it. I didn't realize within that he was Trini.
He's a Trinidadian. He South Trinidad, grew up, born and raised. So, we went into, there are not really live spaces in Trinidad to record. So we had to create a live situation in Kin Studios in Belmont. And, it just so happened that the guys running Kin Studio was our childhood, like, friends. He was in a band when we were kids, and he now runs his studio. And so it was such ease to work with someone that and work out the kinks, because I mean, there were kinks to work out. You know what I mean? Like, we doing this for the first time here in Trinidad. We've done it outside. But not here in Trinidad.
And
Never
also,
lied.
they're also probably everyone, all from the engineers, the assistants are doing this also for the first time in Trinidad, because you said like studios aren't really set up for that. They're set up for producer, vocalist, record
Yeah,
a guitar,
exactly.
record drums, but they're not set up. Even here, studios have, there are very few. There are less than
Yeah,
there always were studios that are
yeah,
set up for a full band.
yeah. So I mean, we had to make something work. We just really had to just. So we would record, we would send, we would see what we need to do, try again, tweak again. So it was really a process every step of the way. I mean, and then even us as a band, emotions were high. So like, we are brothers. We're gonna clash. We're gonna, this one, we feel that we need to stop. We have to stop and say, guys, let's take a week and rehearse and then come back again, because we know where we need to be. Because
So
we
you
were
guys
down for
actually,
like,
you went in to record.
when,
And
so we went in, jamming, man, going down the road hard, and they have these arrangements that they believe in, and then I'm sitting down, so I'm like, yo, this is not it. And we had to make that call. I had to go in, and I knew from beforehand I was gonna get cussed, but I said, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna go. Call a meeting. It's like, guys, this is the case. We need these elements, and if we don't have these elements, it's not gonna happen. Let's take a week, and we did. And that was the move that we needed to make, because by the next week we had everything in order, and so it went. You know what I mean? So these are the decisions and choices you're gonna have to make along the way, and if you don't like pay attention to what you're doing, then as I say, your shit is gonna mind you. You know what I mean? And like, we never want that. You never want that. Yeah.
Was everybody in the band like fully on board when it was like, all right, let's do a live album?
I think everybody was. I think the main question is like how, I think it is just the how. But this band is troopers. We are a gang, I would say. You know what I mean? And they they know that, when we always come in with something, you see. See, the problem is that we're always trying something new now. Like, this just reminds me all the way back in the days when, like, my biggest brother Hans, like, he wanted to make this drum kit. We didn't have drums, and he made a drum kit out of buckets. Like, he tuned the toms out of buckets, paint buckets, and milk covers to make a hi-hat. And like, he was just determined, and I feel like that determination has never left us. So the band's been with us, these members have been with us 10 plus years, so they are accustomed to us by now. Coming with some kind of wildness. I think they look forward to it, you know what I mean? I hope so.
I mean, that's kind of been everyone's feeling, is like, like, if just like, oh man, at this point, I want to do anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're
Welsh,
like,
man.
just tell me the address, I'll be there. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
What we gonna do? Yeah. Let me do it.
What I mean, so as part of, so this kind of like represents you guys and the music in a really unique and interesting way that I think is very of this time. Also captures, some of the carnival energy, some of the other energy. Like I said, it's this interesting meeting of it. But so like in terms of like the culture of carnival that's really like propelled you guys along, even though you guys are a very versatile band, that's still always been like a linchpin of it. And I mean, I know people are thinking otherwise. Like, are you guys expecting there to be carnival in 21?
In 21, I think there's gonna be a form of it. I mean, we don't know how much things are gonna open up. Because I mean, there's obviously a lot of permutations that's running through your head. So many permutations that I just said, hey, well, I really don't know. I just gonna concentrate on creating some timeless music so that no matter what the situation, it will apply. It's just about capturing the feeling of what we do. Because I don't know what's gonna happen next year. It could be very local. It could be a total local thing, and virtual. Local and virtual, or it could be totally virtual. Or Corona could fall off the side of the earth, and then bam, and then we have like songs ready, so
Yeah, no, I
we
mean
good.
it's interesting what you said of like, it could be very local, and
I'd
that
like that actually,
well,
to be
that
very
negatively
honest.
impacts business in a lot of ways, but culturally
But
it
yeah,
could be very, very important for just like focusing and centering.
why we do it every year? Because we've gotten so accustomed, I think, to. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I love the influx of people coming in and lifting up the carnival. It's such an energy. You feel the difference when everybody flies in. You could tell. But I think we as Trinbagonians, and I'm gonna be real, we as Trinbagonians here kind of leaned on that. We kind of was half interested, half, it's carnival, so I guess I should be into this now. And then when the rest of folks fly in, everybody's, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, well then I'll jump up too, And I feel like we need to get back to ourselves because the economics of it kind of got in the way about the intention of carnival. And the intention of carnival is a revolution. Carnival is revel music, rebel music, and rebel vibes. And the reality is that it's our rebellion against the system and the systems that be. And that's not just that's not just our government thing. That's limitations that we put on ourselves, mental slavery that we break out of and say, no, the streets are ours because we say so and we take it. So we have to know, well, what is that energy and what is that rebel music about, and come back to that. And I think if it is a local carnival, it's an opportunity again to refocus what is important to us. It's not what Fete gets into. Is the whole vibes, is the whole thing, the whole picture, the cultural aspect, plus the top 40 parties, and and it's all. I think we need to take a look at ourselves, like everything else in this whole thing. Like it's just about reflection.
No, I
About
mean it's interesting. I mean, obviously, look, if it falls off the side of the earth, as you said, and everyone can come in, I think it would be great, and people all over the world need that release and need that energy, and it is a wonderful thing to have people come in together. But I think the silver lining and the bright side of, well, if it doesn't, something it enables sort of like a different expression to open up, and like you said, like refocus and kind of and see, who knows, you don't know what that will be. But I've thought about it, and it seemed like if it's not able to happen, that um a lo- regardless, local is happening. Nobody's stopping. That's
no,
happening
no,
no matter what,
exactly.
whether
I
people
saw,
are playing or
yeah,
not.
yeah. I saw something on online the other day. I mean, it was dangerous, but at the same time, it really said something to me. Like Grenada, big up to the Greens. Their Juve situation. That's for those who don't know what Juve is. Juve is, the launch of Carnival, like full of mud, paint, and it's just raw energy. And they take pride in what their Juve. And this year, of course, it was cancelled. But yet, you saw people just making their own little things. And then I saw like a band coming down the road with no truck, no music truck, no nothing. And they were just beating irons and beating things and singing and just covered in oil and doing their thing. And I was just like, well, this is what it is. This is
It's
actually the energy here, right here. This is what we celebrating. That right there.
and
You
and
know?
it's personal
Them
as
jab jab.
opposed to which and it's personal as opposed to not intentionally, but it can become more performative and for kind of not even catering, but just like with so much outside influence
Yeah,
there, there's no way that it doesn't become somewhat of an attraction, no matter how true it's staying
yeah.
to the intent.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So I mean I I I, I can't tell, what's gonna be next. And I guess all of us are sort of promoters, everybody, we just kind of waiting to see what's up. But we're not gonna stop creating. And I spoke to a few other artists too, and they're creating as well. We're gonna continue. We're gonna be giving the people the music because life goes on, humanity goes on. We're flooded out and everything, and humanity lives. War, disease. We come back out the next end. So why stop? You know what I mean? If it's any time to do it now.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see, what the rest of your peers and, musicians of all type, but, especially coming out of Trinidad and the islands, sort of like how people decide, you've chosen this lane and this format. And
Yeah,
so I think that, we've only got a couple more days, everybody else will see, but I think that'll certainly prove that what the way you've done it is an impactful, legitimate way to do it. And it's not the way for everybody to do it, but it's sort of like you've kicked in that door. That door is gone. It's not. It's so that you can do a live that a band from Trinidad can do a live album of the highest level. That glass ceiling is cracked, and there are a million more for you guys to crack musically. But I think it's one example of of a way that people can do it moving forward, which I think is important for you and several other people are really the elite top tier of artists in your field, and there are a lot of people who are younger and moving up those ranks. So you guys are really showing a strong path forward. I think also
yeah, yeah, man.
with the album.
Yeah, we had to kick in the door for ourselves too. I'm not gonna lie. Like I couldn't stop. I couldn't write. After this, when it happened, it just was blank. And this album sort of kicked the door for us. It kind of lit a fire in our own tail. And out of that, I hope it really inspires the entire genre to, yo, let's go, man, let's go, dust it off, close them out, and let's let's uh let's make this shit happen, you know?
Yeah, bro.
Make,
I haven't. No, it's weird. Just like DJing, like I haven't DJed a party in how long? You know, I've done some live sets from the house or whatever. But
yeah.
you know, it and again for you guys doing this is something I didn't even ask earlier. But in a live show, the audience, the energy that you get back is such a big part of it.
I'm still adjusting to that. It's hella weird. I mean, totally. Like I've done a few virtual shows already, and man, I'm so glad Sesame Street taught me how to imagine. Yes, because I'll tell you something. Big up to Ernie, right? Because I'll tell you something, man. Like there was a point in time I was doing a song and I just stopped. I was like, fellas, I just don't know, boy. This is just so weird, boy. Like, you know, and we had to start over from the top, and I had to go again because I had to. But that again, I had to now find it within me, you know, and missing that crowd is such a big hole. Like it's such a hole because I'll be real, like a lot of inspiration comes on tour. Like when it is that I just have my shows and I'm in my hotel room. The interaction of the fans and the shows and stuff like that. When I get back in my room now, I could complete songs because I have the vibes. I have the vibes of the party. I have everything. Sometimes I would go back in the room and write it out. You know, write out a piece that wasn't coming, and it came because this lady tell me something, and it just gave me a lyric, and that lyric helped me get over this block, and I don't have that again. So I had
It,
to create my own muse. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's interesting and not having. I mean, look, like that stepping on the stage is like the adrenaline of that is absolutely drugs. So you guys are all without that. So and it's definitely like
No
it's part of
drugs.
the creative. I mean, it is. It's your body reacts to it. Like there's no other way to
So much, so
describe
much, you know, so distinct. I mean, it's just, you know, sounds like Boss Lady. Boss Lady was, you know, I come for this work, sign me up. You know, it was out of a show. Like we did a show and then bam, like I went back in the room and I finished it at 9 a.m. I finished up and I was like, whoa, like, you know, this run was crazy, but this run gave me the rest of the song, you know. So I don't know. We're gonna have to find muses. We're gonna have to light a fire somewhere. I don't know. We're gonna make it happen. But at the end of the day, it's gonna have some digging. Digging is gonna have to be involved for the next few months, creatively, and we're gonna find it somewhere else. You know what I mean? Luckily, my life has quieted down quite a lot over the last few years, as in my personal life. So
unrelated to this
unrelated to
from
that,
yeah.
yes. So I feel like it doesn't feel too different to what's normally happening in my life around this time. So I'm on my way to finding new inspiration. You know, I'm on my way. I don't say I'm totally there yet, but I'm getting there.
Well,
You
so
know,
not to jump too far beyond the immediate important things, but does that mean there's more recorded work on the way?
of course, yeah, man. So after this album is released, expect something new coming. Like there's something again gonna be coming very soon afterwards. So we're gonna, because as I said, I was working on a body of work, and then um, this happened, and then we decided to do the live album. So now we're kind of getting back on track to what we were starting before. And yeah, man, expect music. We have some heat in the pipelines, man. Yeah,
That that's very very interesting and
yeah,
good to
man.
hear.
Yeah, man. I feel good about it. I feel good about the stuff, the body of work, and it's gonna take us into 2021. And you know, and we're going, man. We're not stopping. We're not stopping. You know, there we go.
Even if we're still here in 2021 having a
Yeah, yeah,
conversation
yeah,
the
yeah.
same
You
way.
get music. You get
Well,
music. Yeah,
but it's interesting, you know, like even without the live show aspect of it, one thing that people always need and will always need is music, and
yeah.
you could plug it into your headphones, into your iPhone, your car, wherever. So even if the live element is gone for if it comes back next month or if it comes back in a year, um, it's just like it's changed the energy, but also it's creating this like we just don't know. So can you imagine what this is? I'm not imagining when, because I'm on the same page as you.
Yeah,
Since early March, I've been on the page of like, there's no
that's
way
it.
to say what's happening. Like
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
ever. But just imagining that whenever it does, what that's going to be like.
Exactly. So we don't know if it's gonna change for the better or for worse or whatever. We don't. I mean, it could new possibilities and pathways could happen. Like even with this, I've been speaking to a lot of people around the world who I probably would not have been able to because of the hustle and bustle of everything. Now everyone's locked in here. It's a different tool. It's a
You're sitting,
different
you're sitting,
pathway.
you're sitting under a tree in your backyard. I'm sure
I
there's something.
chillin', yeah, man. I just
I'm sure there's something important you could be doing. All right, we got a little bit left, and actually, I think some people put some questions in here. So
yeah,
let me. I'm new to using the questions, but I'll just pop in and we'll give it a try.
yeah.
All right, I'm just going to do these. Lisa Alana said, "Did you learn anything new about yourself and your approach to music during the lockdown?"
Yeah, lots. One of the best things is I learned to plant, you know what I mean? Like I really, really enjoy gardening. Like it was something that I always wanted to get involved in, you know what I mean? So I have a few girls there as well too. So I mean, and you know, it in completing stuff, like I didn't just say I want to start it and you start it and the plant dies in 2 weeks. No, in completing every day and being with it, it just in those moments I sift through all my little maths, you know, and it helps me just focus, and I'm so happy for that. And then that in turn helps me approach my music quite differently, you know. I look at nature and I say, nature, you are the teacher. To me, nature is God in this life, you know. Nature is the true teacher and always has taught humankind, you know. And it's so crazy to sometimes step back and look at the world and see how we react when a man in a podium says something and he says, okay, humans, do this. And we do this. And then he says, no, humans, don't do that anymore. Do this now. And we do that. And the birds flying the same, the ants still taking up things. They're doing this, the river still flowing the same way.
Not,
But
not,
yet,
not bothered.
yeah, but yet we are under mind control, you know, and we moving here, there, and everywhere. And so nature, just planting, just kind of gave me that insight again and being like, wow, you know, I mean, nature continues while we run around. Like,
All right, let
you
me see
know?
what else we have in here. Oh well, I mean, look, this is unanswerable, but Abby said when are you coming back to Grenada?
I'm coming back here soon. I will get about, nah, you know what? I really believe that it's not going to be like this forever, you know? There's going to be a normalization that's going to happen, and we will see each other again. And I will hold on to that.
All right, someone else asked. IMD Carrington said, "Will there be physical versions of the live album be available for sale?"
Yeah, I mean, we're working on creating some LPs and stuff like that, and more of the physical aspects of the album. Of course, you know, because of everything, things are moving a little slow, but it's gonna be coming because I really think that this album is a great collector's album. I want an LP, you know, of my own album with because the artwork is just amazing. Big up to Nicholas Huggins. Like I love just the artwork and the vibe of it. I think it was just all well put together. So I wanna have it. So if I can have it, we all can have it. So
Not necessarily. You'll get the music first, then you'll get the special. And
yeah,
look, Damon and Evan are listening now. They're on the case. They'll be
they on it.
amazing. You guys will
They on
talk.
it. Yeah.
And so, and actually, this is important. I should have asked this already, but a bunch of people reminded me. How can people watch the live concert
Right.
on the 31st?
So it's a few places. Well, um, definitely on our YouTube channel. You can tune into Casty Band's YouTube. We're also on a platform called Tego, for those who don't know. And Tego is special. It's gonna be developed into a new marketplace where sponsors, artists, fans of the music can be in one place, with cutting out all the middle and basically just start hands-on interaction. So within Tego, there's like a donate button. There's also ways for sponsors to get involved. There's also ways for fans to get involved. So we're gonna be using that platform, Tego. Just giving it a run, and it'll roll out properly in the near future. So that's Tego, that's YouTube. We're also gonna be on for Trinidad on TV6. We're gonna be across Caribbean stations as well too, TV stations. We're gonna be on Trace Caribbean for the African nations. And yeah, so I mean, between all of those things, you must find one platform that's gonna suit you. So all you need to do is bring your drinks and your little vibes, your little zigadums, and enjoy a good time.
And some people are asking for the specifics on the information. I can only assume that you guys will be posting links and have links on all of the social media accounts.
Definitely. And you can check casttheband.com for everything. My bad. We're going to put, so casttheband.com, we're going to have everything, all the links to order the album, to get on the live, what's next, you know, everything. So casttheband.com will link you and your friends.
Link you and your crew.
And your crew.
Yeah, so go to casttheband.com. And then I had one actual personal request that came offline from a friend of mine. You saw the picture that I used for the flyer from the video.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Magic, only magic.
Right. Okay. So, Crystal said she needs her hat back.
She needs my what?
The hat. I think that hat might have
Tell her
who was in the video, correct?
Tell her I have it. Tell her I actually put it aside for her. But we were real busy doing the album, so I didn't get to her. And tell her that she moved from her place. Like, they're not at the same place that they were before. So I have to get her hat back to her. I also offered to buy the hat because it's a special hat. It's a hat from the video. So please, honey, could I please purchase that hat so I can have some memorabilia from my own video? Thanks.
I'll make sure I'll facilitate whatever, whether it's selling or returning when we get offline.
Could you do that? Could you do that? Could you ask her for me to be kind? But I'll give her back her hat, no problem.
I could probably broker a deal. So I think what do they say? It's a good deal if nobody is happy at the end of it.
Yeah, I guess.
Thank you for sitting down and spending the time. It's always good.
Yeah,
good
man.
to sit down and talk.
Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Love to you and the family. Love to you and the band. And just everybody look out. The album We Home Live is out on August 28th. The live concert experience, August 31st. Everything is at casttheband.com. That's a good sell, right? That's everything.
Nice. That's everything right there in a nutshell, man. Nice and neat.
Yes. I also want to big up Jesse Serwer and DJ Gravy and the Large Up team.
Big team.
Even though we know each other well, they're the ones that actually connected it and made this happen. So yeah,
big team.
Big up everyone for tuning in and watch the. I don't have to tell them that. All of these people are like, they're going to be the first. If you could line up to watch online, they'd be online from morning.
That's it. Big up to all the people who support us right through. And the reason why we do what we do is that you guys listen and you guys love it. So thank you. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you. We're going to sign off, everybody. We'll put on the IGTV and YouTube, and I'll share the link so you guys can share with everybody. And
man.
We'll talk soon.
We'll talk soon, buddy. All the best.
All right. Yeah, man. All right. Thank you guys for joining in. I can see everybody rapidly leaving. So the album is out on August 28th. It's called We Live. The Kess Live concert special airs August 31st. It'll be on television broadcast in Trinidad and throughout the Caribbean, Trace TV in Africa. And you can get all of the links for all of it. Very easy, casttheband.com. Big up Damon DeGraff. Big up Evan, the whole management team. Like I said, big up DJ Gravy, Jesse Serwer, the largeup.com, Large Up agency team, and everybody for helping make sure we got this together. All of you guys for tuning in. And I am going to log off and try to see if I can get this up for you guys on IGTV and on YouTube. Thank you.